Okay, we're back at it today, guys. Today is the day that Analogue told us about. It is July 27th. We knew something was coming from the company today, and now we've learned pretty much everything. Way more than I really thought we were going to learn, because there's just more really to process than I thought that there even was with the Analogue Pocket. So we've learned the pre-order date. A lot of people were hoping we could actually buy the thing today. I'm actually kind of glad that they've given us a week to mull things over, because there's quite a lot of accessories to consider. And this way we can actually be very thoughtful about our purchase without being frantically trying to review all of these accessories on the spot and figure out exactly what we're buying. Now we have some time to process it, so I appreciate that. But anyway, we know about the pre-order date. We know about the shipping date, which is going to be in October. Wait, no, it's going to be in May of 2021, if all goes to plan. And yeah, so we've learned those things, and we've learned about a lot of accessories, and we've learned about a couple of new things with the product itself. So really quickly, let's start there. We can go here. We see our cool new spinning animation of the Pocket, and right away, we got to talk about a design change from last week when we had those mock-ups. This mock-up is different. We have buttons. Our Start, Select, and Home button are down here at the bottom. They used to be over here on the right. Some people made some fuss about that. I didn't really care. I thought that my thumb is not really going to mess with this bottom corner, but I guess some other people disagreed. Ultimately, I feel like this is a more optimal location for the buttons, if I'm being totally real with you. So I'm fine with them being there. So there's that. We've got some information here that I believe we've already seen. And then we've got some our adapters. We actually know what those look like now. The only one we'll get on day one available to pre-order is the Game Gear. That's the only one I really care about. So that's the one I'm definitely going to be getting it. But yeah, so that is these are slightly chunky adapters, which is not a problem, but it does mean that our cartridges are going to be sticking way up past the top of the unit. So if you're an aesthetics person, that may bother you a little bit. It's not going to bother me. Who really cares, is what I say. But just something to notice. These are kind of large, kind of chunky. And so get ready to see your cartridges stick up past the top of the unit, if that's something you are bothered by. Hopefully it's not, though. Okay, so now we've got a deeper dive into Nano Loop. This is going to be the software that comes with Pocket, and it's a synthesizer and sequencer. Look, guys, this is really cool. I mean, I've done just a tiny amount of music production with hardware and software in modern times. So I feel like I'm at least a little bit qualified to comment on this, but really, I have a hard time with this notion that Analogue is making a Game Boy that is this intersection point between people that want to play games and make music. I just don't really see that. I know that Analogue, the company, they're very passionate about a lot of things, and they do some weird stuff. Like the record label Hyperdub. This is a label I've loved for years. So I get it. I'm one of the few people in this kind of intersection that they might be targeting. But I feel like it's a very small intersection of people that want to play original Game Boy cartridge media, and that want to make music. It's interesting. Analogue has an interesting way of positioning their company. They're going to show you stuff that they know, most likely, that not a ton of people are going to use the Analogue for this purpose, but they're really catering to those few people, and it's pretty fascinating. But anyway, yeah, the Hyperdub record label, they put out a special version of the Analogue Mega SG with Hyperdub, like an experimental UK electronic music label, and they put out a compilation / Mega SG, like their Sega Genesis, with a really cool, amazing overhaul of the kind of design and the color palette, and even a special edition 8BitDo controller. And it's just like, that's fascinating, but why? Like, why? Like, how many people are going to want these two very specific things at the same time? You know what I mean? It's just, it's interesting. But I have to wonder if these, I'm not sure what the motive is. I just don't quite get it. I'm happy about it. I think it's pretty sweet. But at the end of the day, how many people are really going to be using this thing for creation? So speaking of that, we'll come down here to, where is it? Yeah, so, okay, Game Boy Studio, GB Studio, is a way to make Game Boy games. And Analogue has done something with that company. So now you can make dot pocket games in GB Studio and put them directly on the Analogue Pocket through with an SD card. So that's interesting. We're gonna have a small community of people creating games for the Pocket. Again, I'm not necessarily making the connection between the people that want this product and people that want to create games, even if they want to create like Game Boy games. It's a little bit of a stretch, but it's cool positioning. Like, I like what they're doing as a company with those juxtapositions. So anyway, let's scroll back up a little bit. So we see here we have a sleep and wake mode. That just means that, like most of the electronic devices in our lives these days, the Analogue Pocket, we can tap the power button, it goes to sleep, and it comes back on. That's cool. I mean, none of the original Game Boy hardware or Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance hardware did that, except maybe the Game Boy Advance SP, which was like you could close it, but I don't even think when you closed it that it actually just paused the game and turned the screen off. So now they're trying to make these ROMs like do that smoothly, so I don't know what kind of technological hurdles they were up against to make that happen, but I appreciate it. I guess it's kind of one of those things I would have taken for granted. So I'm kind of glad they announced that it's actually going to be a thing, the sleep and wake, because now I can actually appreciate a little more the development side of things that might have gone into that. Okay, we see here that we've got display modes, original display modes for the three systems, the Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Advance. And this is cool. Especially because of the super high PPI. So all my PPI patrol can holler at me down in the comments. But basically, the screen is so good on this thing that you can really do an accurate recreation, and I believe that, of these original consoles. I'm not going to be playing it like that. I'm just going to be playing it on standard black and white, crispy, chunky pixels. That's how I like it. I'm not going to be doing any of these. I mean, I'll probably mess around with them, but what I want is I want it to just look as clean and crisp as possible. Okay, so I don't know if there's really much else to talk about here on the big main page, so let's go back up, let's click pre-order, and let's look at why we're all here. So basically, here's what my morning was like. I don't know what your morning was like, but my morning was as follows. I went to this, I actually found this storefront page a few minutes early, a few minutes before 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know exactly how I did it. I was nervously just scrolling around the Analogue site, surfing around, clicking different things, and I landed here a few minutes early. And I was like, okay. And we see right here that it says August 3rd. But for some reason, I had my blinders on. I didn't even notice that. And so I kept just refreshing the page over and over again, right around like as 8 o'clock was creeping up, I kept pressing that refresh button. Excuse me. And I kept noticing, like I looked down at these accessories and I was like, oh God, which one do I want? Refresh. Which one do I want? Refresh. Which one of these do I actually need? Do I need the Game Gear? Yeah, I'm getting the Game Gear. Oh, well, should I get the links? Oh, I can't get that one yet. Okay, so should I get a charging brick? I might need that, but it's just USB-C. But maybe it's like fast charging, and maybe it's optimal. Maybe I need that. Oh wait, it comes with the dock over here, so I don't need it. So oh man, I'm really glad that I didn't have to do that for real this morning. I mean, I was doing it for real, but I'm glad that the pre-orders weren't actually live at that time, because if they were, how are we going to process all of these different accessories and figure out what we really want to buy? How are we going to be totally thoughtful about it if we have like just literal seconds to get it in before we hit the checkout button? So I'm actually, I say props to you, Analogue, for giving us the opportunity to actually look at this stuff and mull over exactly what we're going to be buying. So I'm into that. First of all, I've decided that I'm getting the black. I can't get the white because it's just I think it's gonna get too dirty and look too dirty. It's gonna be more of an issue keeping it clean looking. So I'm gonna keep the black. I'm gonna keep it clean too, but it's just, for something like this, I need something a little more practical than that super pristine white thing they got going on there with the white version. So I'm doing that. The Analogue dock, I predicted that it would be $80. We can see here it is $100. Am I surprised? No, I'm not. But that's cool. I mean, $100, it could be worse if we're being real. So $100 is in a totally acceptable price range for me, from my vantage point. I might even get a second one someday because I like having two switch docks. One in my living room with my TV, one hooked up to my computer monitor, and that's how I like it. I like having all those different options for docking. I'm not gonna buy two docks on day one though for the Analogue Pocket, because then I'd be spending like $500 instead of $400, and nobody's. Yeah, maybe someday, but not on day one. The hard case. Look, the hard case is like for, I think, keeping your pocket dust proof. It looks like a dust guard to me. So like basically this might be more appealing for somebody that was going to make music with the pocket. Again, not going to be too many of those people, but for those that want to like keep their pocket as a musical instrument and want to keep it in pristine condition, this is basically a dust guard that they can use. So that's kind of cool. Okay. So we also have the brick. As I mentioned, the brick actually comes with the Analogue dock. So I'm gonna have my brick and my USB cable down here, my branded Analogue fast charging USB-C power supply and cable. That stuff's gonna come with the dock. So I don't think I need a second set. If I'm gonna be on the road, on the go, and I wanna just grab a charging thing, I might just use whatever USB-C stuff I happen to have with me, because I'll have something for like my, phone and iPad, computer, whatever I've got with me. I might just use that stuff to charge, or I might grab it off of the dock and take that stuff with me if I want that optimal fast charging business. So I'm gonna be buying, the dock, gonna be skipping an extra power supply. I'm gonna be buying the the Game Gear adapter, because I do have Game Gear games. So this is probably the only adapter I will buy for the Analogue Pocket. Then we have our link cable. The interesting thing about this is, I didn't actually know until today that you can buy newly manufactured Game Boy link cables on Amazon, which is pretty weird, but you can. I guess there's still those people out there trading Pokemon and stuff. I don't know. But now it's kind of interesting because you can get a nice premium link cable that is an Analogue product, and it's going to be quality. $16 is a lot to pay, but if you really want that Cadillac of Game Boy link cables, look no further than the Pocket link cable. Okay, so now we've got all of our Nano Loop stuff so that we can use our Analogue Pocket with whatever other MIDI hardware we have available to us. Not going to be me fam, but if that's your thing, go for it. And then we've got our USB-C cable in case you need another Analogue branded thing in your life. There's that. But basically what I'm looking at is I'm looking at 200 plus 100, that's 300 plus 30, so 330, and I pretty much expect that to be close to 400 when all of this is said and done. All of the hidden fees, all of the, you know, I don't know, Mad Little Pixel did a video on all of this, and he was talking about like potentially, you know, overseas international shipping, stocking fees and stuff like that. So even though this is going to ship from the United States, there's that for some reason. So potentially the shipping could be higher than I would want if Mad Little Pixel on YouTube is correct about that. And I kind of assume he is, because I've never even owned an Analogue product. So this is going to be my first one. But honestly, guys, that's about it. I'm going to do another one of these videos just so I can give you my final thoughts. Next week, I'll tell you about my horrible consumer experience of buying this thing frantically on the spot, trying to get all my accessories in the cart, and then I'm going to hit that checkout button. It's all going to be gravy. I suggest you find something else to do with your day on the morning of August 3rd, because I don't want you as competition. I want, you know, I'm just on YouTube right now to tell you to just go away and don't be on the Analogue shop on this at this time on this day, because I want it, because I want to buy it. I don't want it to sell out in like 2 seconds because you guys buy it. So yeah, I mean, you know, if you feel compelled to do something else, you know, 8 a.m. Pacific time seems like a good time to make a cup of coffee. So maybe just, you know, it'll be fine. It's not going to sell out that fast. You'll be okay. But anyway, guys, that's basically it for this one. I'm going to do a final thoughts, like I said, next week. Once I've actually bought the thing, I'll tell you about my horrible experience. And that's it for now. Thanks for checking me out.